This one's on escaping from side control. Go a bit through what to do when someone's just getting side control, how to position yourself, as well as just escaping using frames and with the underhook. And I do have my escapes instructional out as well, so you can check that out on BJJ Fanatics. I'll put the link below. So the only other one, well, I mean, there's quite a few different ways to approach escaping side control. I think the next best one to get good at, so that's like your frames, and that's the most common one. The next best one to get good at is using an underhook, because you actually kind of go in the opposite direction. So if I borrow a lift, when I use my frames, I'm trying to bring my feet back in front. So I'm trying to like essentially get back to open or close guard. Sometimes Liv will defend by running away. Okay, so she moves away from my legs, and that becomes hard. I'm trying to chase her with my legs, but she's moving away from them. It makes it very easy to work towards my knees to get up. Okay, so we can kind of link those two together, and we're going to use the underhook for that. Now the start for this is the same. So I want to get an underhook, and we talked about underhooks a few weeks ago and how to use these properly. But again, Liv's cross body on me. If I just get an underhook here, it's not going to be very effective. Okay, this isn't going to hold position very well. Liv can, she can move to north-south or like do a bunch of things to counter this, or even just hold in tight, and I can't move her very well. Right? I want to like get my frames first and get good position, and then shoot for the underhook. Okay, so don't just reach for it. You're just going to get jammed up, and it's not a very good position. This crossface really overpowers that. Okay, so same start. I get my arm and leg frames, and I'm going to work under the shoulder. And here's about where I start to make this choice. Okay, so right now Liv's running away from me, and it's going to be very hard to bring my feet back across, even if I'm doing everything right. Okay, so instead we're going to look at this gap. So you might not be able. There's a gap under this arm, so I'm going to look to pummel my hand through that gap as an underhook. Okay, but watch what will happen. Crossface Liv. Okay, the crossface kills that still, so I need to deal with that crossface. Turn this way, you can see. So we use the pillow defense. Okay, so Liv's got the crossface, or gripping onto my head. I frame, put my hand inside and on top of my head, and I open my elbow. Get a crossface, Liv. Okay, so see, like really get a crossface.
I'll have to repel.
Okay, so she can't grip my head because my arm's in the way. I'm then going to attach the top of my head to my arm and put my arm on the ground. Okay, so crossface me now, Liv. We call this pillow defense. It's like your arm is a pillow, and your opponent might like lift up and try to move and turn you. As long as you can stay on your side, it's very hard to get driven back. Okay, very different to being like here. If my arm's in tight, crossface is going to be very powerful. That's going to drive me back. But if my head's resting on my arm, that's difficult. Okay, I've seen some people like to do elbow behind their back. I personally think the same thing with the crossface. This can be really strong and powerful. But if you just do the pillow defense, so by moving away, hand inside, on top of your head, opening your elbow and dropping your arm down, then just turning on your side as much as you can, it's very difficult for them to control your head. So the underhook escape will work much better. All right, so
Can I go for your back before you get the underhook?
Okay, so this arm's also waiting to track you running around. Okay, if you try to run around, I've got this arm ready to block that leg. Okay, but Liv's asking, like, if I just kind of wait here and don't do anything, she might go to my back, which is obviously not good. Okay, but I'm ready with my arm, and I'm ready to turn sides if she runs around. So we get our frames, we pummel inside, pillow defense, and I start to underhook. Okay, nice and high at first. I want to scoot along the mat, moving my hips away until I'm 180 degrees and sprawl to my knees, like so. Okay, 180 degrees is really important, because if you do this when you're side on, the back take will be available, and it's hard to get up. Okay, so like if I try to turn, if I get to here and try to turn in, Liv can drive me back. Yeah. or potentially go to my back. If my feet are 180 degrees, my back's as far away as possible. So when I walk to here, my back's the furthest away it can be. I build my base up backwards, moving away from her, to again make my back further away by moving backwards. There's a few things that are important with this movement. So I'm opening up a can of worms, but if you push against me, Liv, if I try to get up here, like by turning towards Liv, this is what I have to do when I'm side on, right? But when I can actually get to my knees by moving away, okay? So look at this. I can't get up at all by rolling over, like, let me back off for a sec. I can't like do this, okay? Go again. But I can get up to my knees, moving my feet away, sprawling out, and building my base backwards, because there's never any forward drive against Liv. It's all moving away. So even if she's putting a lot of pressure, I'm actually able to use that movement. So that's the movement we want to do when we get our underhook. Here, I get my underhook, cover my head, scoot away, sprawl, and I build my base backwards to get to my knees. Okay. There's a lot of extra little tips in that, but I might just go to some questions. Yeah, let's see Lauren's turn. I think you're the only one with a partner today, so.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see how we go.
Harry, you should bring all your sisters to train.
So we're starting kind of here, and Tim's starting to crossface me. So I'm gonna frame and get my head to my bicep.
Can you turn more so that your head's facing the camera, like top of your head? Yeah, just so I can see the pillow defense. Yeah, good. Good.
Frame.
Good.
You kind of brought your elbow in like this first.
Yeah, go back. Grip the top of your head.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So you get your frame first. So you get your legs in. Yeah, good. Top of your head. Open your elbow out.
Nice.
Yes. And then head on top of your arm. Okay. And Tim, try to drive her back with that crossface. Good. Excellent. Good. Underhook, moving away to your knees. Well done. Very good. All right. There's quite a bit today, so I don't know if I want to add any extra stuff. Does anyone have any questions?
So the context with the underhook escape, you're kind of waiting for top player to almost give you the space as they're trying to avoid your frames, and they're giving you the space, and then that's when you get the timing.
Yeah, so I think there's probably a few times I'll do it. One is if they're running away from my legs. I also often look for it if they switch base. So if Liv's in side control, she turns to switch her base. She's like a Kesugatami here. One thing I said was blocking this arm, which we can go for that strategy I talked about at the start. But another one is to bridge in, turn, and start to look to get my underhook. Okay, if I get my underhook here, usually Liv would square up here, but I'm actually in my position to continue that escape. So that's another option from there.
Cross the pillow.
Yeah, so I mean you can try to. So I want to deal with the crossface here. Obviously the frame on the hip, and my other leg can deal with that. But I can also, if I bridge off my left leg and turn Liv's head in line with mine, this might grab my head, get a crossface now, Liv. Okay. It's not, because her head's in the same line as me, her arm can't really drive in. She wants her head this, sorry I can't even talk, that sucks. But here is not as bad, right? So here it might be possible to try to get the pillow defense first, but then I don't have an underhook. I can't really do that same redirection of her head with an underhook. Okay, if you see here, my head's, I'm not going to be able to move her in line with me right now.
Yeah.
So coming over the head can be a good way. And now I might go pummel inside. I might go here. But the problem is, if Liv wants this arm, it's actually in danger. It's a more risky way to do it. Doing it with frames and getting my legs in, coming to here, that's a much more, framing the head and coming under is a safe. I never put my arm in a too vulnerable position if I'm coming under the chin. But if I leave it dangling out here, it can be a good first move. Like as I said, you could use that to try to deal with the crossface to here. But I need to be wary to come back out with that arm, and then potentially.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No worries.
Trying to think of an approach to dealing with Chi. She's so good at going from north south to side control north south, and I was trying to think, could I add that in? Not really. I don't think. Yeah.
North south. If they're switching from side control to north south, you need to change your frames. So my hip frame needs to go under this opposite arm, and this hand needs to catch this armpit. So go to north south. My frames I want from north south are like this. Okay, I'll be gripping the lats with my elbows inside. This gives me room to get my legs in. So you need to, actually let's turn. Walk to side control. As I notice Liv changes to go towards north-south, see that? And then watch this one. Keep walking, Liv. Can you see that at all?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So and then as she goes back, I'm back on the hip and back, blocking here. So you got to track their frames as they move.
Mhm.
Do that again.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, boom. Boom. Okay.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Otherwise, just bench press it.
Thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
Mark, when you